It's the same thing with the dog. We want to get them into the habit of thinking about going out into the world and doing physically and mentally challenging activities, and you being the key, that unlocks that access to those things. Very nice. Now pivot, up, and wait. Wait. Click and treat. Very nice. I'm always trying to, whatever is more effective for less labor is what I'm after, And then one of the things you want to avoid is like say when you're watching the kids or the dogs, watch them out of the corner of your eye.
Okay.
Because like if they catch you all the time turning and looking at them, then they don't have any reason to keep up with you.
Got it.
Does that make sense? So you want to kind of give them the illusion that you're going someplace, right? Yeah. And they have to keep up with you or they'll get lost.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And that's an old-fashioned dog training thing that we used to do with puppies, is we would take puppies out when they were 8, 10 weeks old in the woods, or even into a neighborhood, doesn't really matter, and let them get distracted and then hide from them. Gotcha. And so that kind of developed in them this sense of urgency to always know where their handlers are. And it works really good. It works with kids in grocery stores too. Yeah. You ever seen a kid in the grocery store, the kid's like wreaking havoc and the mom's following him? Mm-hmm. Come here little Timmy. Yep. If the mom would just go the other way, Timmy would freak out and go find her.
We could turn those into juice.
But this right here, man, this is it. Learning by doing. Don't micromanage. Your job here, like what I tell people is I'm like a Montessori director. Yeah. I come out here and I make sure nobody gets too far, make sure they're not getting in any trouble. But for the most part, like the children and dogs that come see me, I'm like letting them learn. Yeah. And sometimes they learn a good lesson, like, oh, that flower smells good. And sometimes they learn a bad lesson, which is a good lesson, but I mean, it hurts, right? They grab some briars, or they'll take off running through these weeds and run into a patch of briars. And the effects are the same on the dogs and the children. They both learn to be careful and to be cognizant of the environment, right. And that's really how I end up getting these dogs to mind so good off the leash, is that I let them explore, and then like pretty soon they figure out that I don't have any rules that don't work out to their own advantage. Yeah. And if you do a good job with children, they get to be adults and they go, oh, I see why you wouldn't let me stay out too late, or you didn't want me to date Sally or whatever. See, and to me, this is like what you want with dog training. You have your children out, they have a friend over, right? They don't want to go out and go sit down, heel, whatever. They want to go out and play whatever whatever pretend thing they're playing right there, and maybe throw a stick for a dog or something, and people get that confused. And then when they're trying to teach their children to train dogs, they make it about like bossing, and then the kids don't want to do it. Right. And I try to make it like learning by doing. So I just want the kids and the dogs to go out and learn what the environment has to offer. And it takes a little patience, because sometimes the dog will wander off or the kid will wander. You just gotta, put a little bit of work into it. But look at that. I mean, that's the kind of stuff right there where they have some sticks, trying to get some treats. You got a clicker going on. You don't have to remind them about rewarding the dog, because see, the clicker flops around, and then it reminds him all on his own. So there's so much varying levels of motivation at play here. The kids are playing, they're acting, the dogs are running, smelling. So when you have children that lead these sterile lives, they're inside all the time, their parents bubble wrap them, they're literally like stopping them from developing properly. As we going down the trail, then the dog's like off looking for the kids. And so what happens is the dog kind of starts to think, well, that's how we go out. We go out, the kid wanders off, I go find them. Yeah. And all too often, like with that bird dog we had out here earlier, like he just thinks he goes off and you come find him. Right. Very nice. World's famous brush pile challenge works for children as well as dogs. Hey, your wife, if she could see this, would she be mad at me?
No, she won't.
No? Okay.
We're in the process of buying land to put to get a farm, well, not like a working farm, but we want it like a hobby farm.
Yeah.
And move out of our...
Now, so let me show you. So the key when you're like navigating an environment like this is you want to see how this stick is like pointy. So you want to avoid pointy sticks And you'll get to where, like, you can see how the sticks are laying. Let me hold your hand. You'll get to where you can kind of see how the sticks are laying. And once you figure out where the sticks are laying, you'll learn where to put your feet. And like a lot of times parents can't see the benefit of that. But I mean, it's all about like helping a person, child, dog, whatever it is, like learn to read and adapt to the environment. Does that make sense? Adapt and overcome. Like human development is based on adapting and overcoming. And when you rob children and dogs of the need to adapt, you also rob them of the pride that comes, here, let me see your hand, with the pride that comes from overcoming. Do you see? If there's no need for adaptation, then there's no overcoming, right? So you need physically and mentally demanding activities if you want to realize a child or dog's full potential. It seems so simple to me, you know? And like, I know that's not a popular thing now, but I really don't understand why it's not. It's so simple. Okay guys, let's go on, let's finish our hike. Come on, I'll help y'all down. All right, so look here. See, you just got to watch this one here that's sharp. There you go, and then think about where you're going to place your feet.
There you go.
All right?
Think about that while Ryan's emotions.
Perfect. Very easy. Very nice. You should see my new spot, dude.
Yeah.
You have to come back and visit. It's awesome, isn't it, cameraman?